And it has started straight off the bat. Unpredictable as ever. Hello everyone, welcome to Late Night Live with me, myself, and Mr. Sam McCabe. It's a very warm night in Manchester. Everyone's got the fans out and the ice cream. So whilst you lay there with the only acceptable option, which is a Twister lolly, by the way, enjoy the stories. We're going to dive into, and we'll get into your favourite ice cream in a minute, Sam, because I can see you squinting in your face. We'll get into these stories that are on your screen. So Emi Martínez to Man United is the biggest headlining, grabbing, whatever you want to call it. Onana's future in doubt because of this news. Could that have a domino effect? Palhinha loan deal, which I think is very interesting, which we'll get into. And then Mbuemo second bid. We've not gone with that as the headline because of the source, and I'll explain that a little bit later. A bit of a dodgy source, like you kind of, think of a shit sauce that you keep in the cupboard. That is what I would say this is. So, before we get into the topical stuff, Sam, why did you squint your face at Twister Lollies, please? Indulge me.
I've not got an issue with Twister Lollies. I think they're a nice lolly, but I think on a hot day like this, I think Solero is the option.
All right, I'm not mad at that either, to be honest with you. Solero is acceptable. What would we put in the category if it's like a tier list of lollies? What would go in the red category, do you think?
As in, get it in the bin?
Yeah, as if like, nah, I'm not a fan of that. Never been a fan.
On a hot day, I would say a milk lolly. You don't want a milk lolly on a hot day, do you?
Yes, I would agree with that. Although I don't actually mind milk lollies, but
I don't mind it. My option. On a hot day,
yeah.
You won't put it
also
in
low
there.
calories as well, so, same.
And then, what else do I not like as well? I'm trying to think of like lollies that I like.
Proper shit lolly. I've never understood those. They might be nice, but do you know, like are they like the sandwich ones? Like the
ice cream sandwich. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Have you ever gone for them?
You know what? I'm not a fan of a fab lolly. I've got to say.
That could be controversial.
I'm not a fan.
I think
it's like chocolate. It's like chocolate, and then there's like fruit below it, and and then there's like hundreds. It doesn't know what it is. It's a very mixed up lolly. Like it's not sure what it is.
It's almost trying to appeal to a mass crowd, right? So it's
too
like,
many.
You don't like chocolate? Well, go down a tier.
Too many things. Too many things. Just do something. Pick something and do something well. Like don't try and.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, do get your favourite ice creams in the chat if you are just joining us on this late night. It is still, I believe, about 24 degrees outside in Manchester, which is just...
I think it's higher. I think it's like 26.
Yeah, well, it certainly feels like it.
26 on mine, it's saying, and it was 29 at the highest today, so it's a hot day.
Now we all know how Shreyas feels. Now, what we're going to do for you people, we're going to do a comparison breakdown between Andre Onana and Emi Martínez, and there's some interesting little nuggets in it. So, just before we get into that stats comparison, I will read you the news that Fabrizio Romano was reporting before. So, Emi Martínez would be willing to join Man United this summer, even without Champions League football. Initial contact has been made with his agent, and Martinez is waiting to see what happens with Andre Onana, and also kind of expanding on that point as well. Romano's put United are not desperate to sell Onana, and he's still part of the project approved by Amorim, but in the case of a good proposal for all parties, he'd not be untouchable, which is kind of like, I don't know if I completely agree with that. But before we give our thoughts, let's just back it up with a bit of data and a bit of stats, Sam. So we've got the Martinez versus Onana, and what we're going to kick it off with first, save percentages. Martinez more favourable in there, 69% for Martinez, 67% for Andre Onana. Then we move on to saves per game. 2.7 saves per game for Martinez, 2.6 for Onana. Very similar again, very close. These are Premier League stats as well, by the way, for anyone who's interested. Goals conceded per game, 1.2 for Martinez, 1.3 for Onana. Goals prevented, 1.16 for Martinez, 0.53 for Onana, which is probably one of the most favourable ones for Martinez. Martinez has got 8 clean sheets. Onana's got 9. And then to finish with, we've got errors leading to shot and goal. Get on this. Martinez 6. Onana 4. Which is crazy, right?
Yeah.
I think what you have to consider in that as well is a lot of mistakes from Onana have also been in the Europa League or European competitions last season. But does that surprise you a little bit, the errors?
No, I think Martinez has got a clanger in him. I've seen him play. Like, he does have a clanger in him from time to time. Yeah. So I have seen it before. Like, we saw it in the Villa game, the last game at Old Trafford. He came out and absolutely rugby tackled Rasmus Højlund. And, like, are you telling me that's, like, a keeper who's, like, at the top of his game? Like, I don't think Alisson does that. I don't think Edison does that. So I've seen him do some really comedy errors, but then I've also seen him pull off probably one of the best saves I've ever seen. That one where he back and he clawed off the line.
Unreal.
Probably one of the best saves I've ever seen. So he's capable of that. But then so is Onana. Onana, that double save against Crystal Palace. Yeah, phenomenal double save, like unbelievable. But then he chucked stuff in his own net. So it's just like, it feels like this is a sideways step, doesn't it, really? Yeah. More than anything. Like, is he slightly better? Maybe. Is he pulls apart and world class? No. So,
well, there is a conversation ongoing about it. Is he overhyped a little bit? Because the situation with Argentina, what he did for them, I think is really, really impressive. In that penalty shootout in particular, having the balls to stand up. And I think you can't really do much wrong with having players of that type of personality, do you know what I mean? Bring them in. But I'm pretty sure we said similar things with Onana when he was coming in from Inter Milan, that he's got the personality and character to deal with it, and that it kind of overdid it with that a little bit, didn't it? You know, when he's coming out doing interviews and he's saying, "You think I've turned into the worst goalkeeper in the last 6 months?" And you're kind of like, "Mate, are you forgetting we've watched you for the last 6 months?"
Also, Martinez, he's got that sort of ego, but he's a bellend as well. Like, he's a proper knobhead. Like, I know people don't like Onana, but he's not a knobhead. Like, he's not, like, he doesn't do stupid shit.
People might disagree with the Leon game before that, but...
No, do you know what I mean? No, like, Emi Martínez is getting the Golden Glove trophy and he's shagging it and stuff like that. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, Onana's not doing that sort of stuff. Like, he's not that kind of knobhead. So, yeah, I don't like this move. I really don't like this move.
No, I have to agree with you. I think... something just strikes me as like he will come to United and you will see the same clangers as what Onana has been doing. And maybe that's because we're too hurt. Maybe that's because we've had De Gea and then we've had Onana who's got progressively worse and it feels like it can't get any worse. But he has got a clanger in him, like you say. But I think overall ability, I think he's better simply because I think shot stopping, I don't think there's much in it. But I think in terms of commanding a box and presence and sweeping, I think he does kind of slightly edge him on that as well. And I think although the stats in the Premier League say that he makes more mistakes, overall in all competitions, I would say I've probably seen Onana make a lot more. But maybe that's because we watch him more. I don't know.
Do you think, though, because he plays for Villa, Martinez, that there's not a high level of scrutiny on him? Whereas if he came to United, those errors start getting highlighted way more because he's at Manchester United. Yeah, that's potentially could happen, and that's what I fear if he comes to United. Like, that's going to get heightened, and we've seen lesser men crumble under that scrutiny as well. Like that, I think I was talking to somebody. They must watch the show. They were on Twitter. I apologize, I can't remember your name, but they were saying, like, why have we not been able to buy a goalkeeper in the last 20 years besides Schmeichel and Van der Sar? Every other goalie has been either not good enough or a complete failure. Like, it's just been an absolute shit show, and it like Gary Neville said, didn't it? It's the toughest position ever to recruit for, is goalkeeper at Man United. And I think unless we've got a certain choice of no, this guy will work, like a Van der Sar or a Schmeichel, I just think is not going to work. Like, we need to find somebody who is the top of the top, who's going to push Alisson for best goalkeeper in the world, and I don't think Martinez is that guy.
Interesting. Right, let's see what everyone else is saying. I'm really interested to get people's opinions on this, so get it in the comment section. Tamiso Deliso says, yes, United, I want Osman and Mbuemo, Martinez, and a big transfer list. I'm not going to read all of it out, but it's nice to see that. Mark Palmer, do we really want a keeper that's at the tail end of his career? Hold that thought.
He's 32.
He's 32, but I'll get into that point. I am a DJ Ked says, screw Martinez. I thought I was going to get done then with the name. I thought I was going to be one of them. Yeah. Costa says Jay, full stop. Sam?
As in Diogo Costa?
Diogo Costa, yeah. Well, I hope it's not Diego Costa as a striker option.
Yeah. No, again, he's had a couple of mistakes recently, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's done some stuff, so even he makes me nervous now. He was class a couple of years ago, but now he's started doing mistakes as well, so he makes me nervous.
I remember the game when we played against Porto last season, and Rashford scored a goal that
It
went
was
at
just
his
like
near post.
dribbled in, didn't it? Just
Yeah,
dribbled
in
into
past him, and then Højlund scored a goal in the same game,
Yeah.
which also did the same thing as well. So it's kind of like, is there any keepers that just don't make fucking mistakes? Can that just be a priority going forward?
Alisson.
Not, but Alisson's top class. Don't get me wrong, but I think Alisson and Ederson both still have a mistake in them. I think I've seen mistakes from
not that often.
Not
it's
as
like
frequent.
one or two a year, a season or something. Do you know what I mean?
But yeah, it's weird. It seems to be like a new vibe now. I think keepers seem to be a lot more risk takers, and it's kind of like it's weird. Get a young keeper to develop while we're crap. That's from HMG. Suvik says maybe a hot take. Emi Martínez is just nuts enough to be a United goalkeeper. You need to be slightly insane to take this gig with all the scrutiny. Well, it can either be Schmeichel level of crazy, or it could be Barthez level of crazy. And then they kind of,
you don't want Barthez.
You don't want Barthez level. Right. You definitely don't want Barthez level. What about the wage, price, age considered with this? Someone mentioned before tail end of his career, but goalkeepers. We signed Van der Sar when he was 36.
Yeah.
But there is going to cost 40 million, and his wage at Villa is £150,000 a week, Sam. So how do we get past that obstacle?
Yeah. The price I don't like either. Like 30, 40 million. Like if we're going to do this deal, I'd like it to be closer to 20. Like any 20 or below, I'd like it to be. I think £150,000 a week. If you get, I don't know what Onana's on, but if Onana goes out the door, that sort of replaces that wage, doesn't it?
And I think he's on about that, isn't he? Onana, roughly.
Is he?
I think so. Let's have a look.
It kind of replaces that, so that's not too worrying. Like, but yeah, the price point is a problem. It's definitely a problem for me. But yeah, 32 is not all for a goalie. Like goalies can play to the 40. Like we've seen it. Like you said, Van der Sar came at 36 and was arguably, some people say the best goalkeeper we've ever had. Some people say second. But either way, he's up there. So yeah, the age doesn't worry me.
I see it being as extremely complicated. I just think, one, you're going to struggle to move Onana on as it is anyway, because as far as I'm aware, I've seen no offers at all coming for Onana, or no clubs. There was bits about Saudi, but then that kind of got dampened by a lot of reporters out there. So I just don't see like where he goes. I think if you then move him on, it's like get the £40 million is a lot of money. Do we even have that in our budget? We've not even got Mbuemo over the fucking line yet. We still need a striker. I just don't. I don't see him doing it. Genuinely.
Yeah.
But then Romano's reporting that we're in talks and he's interested, and it's like, if he was a free agent, let's say, and he was last year at Villa, I would consider this a lot more. I'd probably push for it a lot more. Yeah. And I say, but it's too much involved with it, like having to pay the price to sell Onana. Yeah, I just don't see it happening personally. But it's interesting, isn't it? It's definitely interesting. I think some of his caliber and what he's won in the game and his experience as well could be interesting. But yeah, I'm not tempted by it too much. Let's move the conversation on to Palhinha, because we had, again, the source. Don't shoot the messenger, right? This is journalist Dean Jones Soccer has put this out, right? And it's aggregator. Yeah. It is what it is. However, I think it sparked an interesting debate, and we'll see how Sam feels about this, and we'll see how other people in the chat as well. So Man United are ready to explore a loan deal for Joao Palhinha if it becomes clear that he'll be available after holding internal talks with Bayern Munich over his future. Now, as soon as I saw this, Sam, I did a bit of deep diving to see like what the crack is, what's going on at Bayern Munich, basically. So he's only made 17 Bundesliga appearances. He's played 8 full games for him. Starting for him. Missed big matches against like Dortmund and Champions League knockout stages, and he was brought in initially as a Thomas Tuchel signing, and now Vincent Kompany has come in. Basically, he's misaligned with the whole system, and he prefers Pavlovic, Kimmich, and a few other players. Of course, there's been injuries kind of with that as well here and there, but so their stance on it at the minute is he's a transfer candidate. They're open to offers around 30 to 42 million, and they want to recoup the 50 mil that they spent on him initially. And that's kind of where we stand. With Palhinha as a player, he's more of a, this is just my opinion on it, and everyone's entitled. He's more of a destroyer, innit? He's more of a, he can take the ball, interceptions, physical player, blocks, tackles, all that kind of stuff. That's what you're going to get for aerial dominance.
He's a bully, innit? He's a bully.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Strong ball winner, right? However, with him, because this is why companies playing players like Kimmich and Pavlovic a bit more, he's very limited when it comes to ball progression and technical build-up.
Yeah.
So for me, I love him as a player. I think he's better at the side of the game than Ugarte, in my opinion, at that defensive thing. But on the ball, he's still not incredible enough for me to take a punt. But if it's a loan, then it's kind of like, that's where, do you know what I mean? So is it worth a loan?
Like you said, in another system, I would be like, absolutely, get him signed. Like I wanted him before
Ten Hag,
when Ten Hag was there. I thought he would be like perfect for the system in that midfield three at the base of it. I thought that's the guy. Like, that's what you need. Obviously, we're playing a different system now where you need some sort of ball progression and people who are good at passing and splitting the lines and stuff like that. And that's just not him. But you look at that midfield and Ugarte had big question marks, especially in his physicality. Like he got bullied off the ball at West Ham. That's the moment that stands out for me, where he just got shoved off and gave up. I don't think you'd ever see that from Palhinha. Like I don't think he'd ever let someone that do that to him. So there is that side of it. He's got fight in him. He's played in the Premier League before. He's a good player. But yeah, the issue is as well that commanding, battle-hardened number 6/8 who could pass the ball, there's not many of them. Like there isn't many of them at all in the world. And the ones that you can, like the ones that are there, they're going to cost you a fucking fortune. Like they're going to cost you a lot of money. So it's tricky, man. Like it's really tricky. I really like Toby Collier. I think he's got something. And it's like, if you bring Palhinha in, does that then push him down the pecking order and get him minutes? Does he then have to go out alone to get his minutes in his development? Because I think that time when you bring in that sort of player in to keep it simple, to break the ball up, to get on it and make the pass to the more creative players, I think you could use Toby Collier in that position. But I do like Palhinha a lot. I think he's a better version of what we've got in Ugarte currently. Yeah. But then I don't see Ugarte going anywhere this summer because we just bought him. So Palhinha comes in, it's just like, what then? Like, what do you do then?
Well, a lot of the reports I'm seeing about Ugarte, they seem to rate him highly and think he's going to be a really, really good player. Yeah. I don't see it at the minute. I really hope I'm wrong. I hope in 2 years' time we're all raving about him and how much of an incredible player he is. But I think he's got a lot of work to do. You referenced the West Ham game there. That was pitiful what happened to him there. Just a quick turnover, pushed off the ball. That's not happening to Palhinha. Never in a million years. No. And people were raving about him as well when he was in the Premier League. Loads of clubs are talking about how
phenomenal.
They'd love a player like him. The issue is he's 29. If Bayern want to recoup the 30, 40 million for him, you're buying another 29-year-old fucking 40 million. It's like, have we not learned our lesson?
Like you said, if we're going to do this deal, it has to be a loan. Like you cannot be dropping 30, 40 million on this guy. Yeah. Like it's not an option. If you're going to drop 30, 40 million, surely there's a young midfielder that we could get for that price who we can develop and turn into something who's approaching that thing. Like, how much did Madrid pay for Mascherano?
Say that. Yeah.
At 25?
Let's have a look. 50 million euros, apparently, they spent on it.
With add-ons and stuff.
So Mascherano continues to dominate headlines. Fabrizio Romano, the final cost for a play at start will exceed 50 million euros, but I think add-ons included additional 13% rise. Yeah, there's a load of kind of clauses in there, but there's longevity in that as well, isn't there?
Yeah, so let's call it 40 million pounds. Right, so that's similar price to Palhinha. You telling me there's not a player out there you could go get for 40 million who's the level of like Mascherano could be? Spending the money that you could spend on Palhinha, like there has to be. You got Caicedo for less. Like there's players out there you can go and get. Like you could definitely go get them. So I just think, Palhinha is not the one for this system, in my eyes.
What are we saying, everyone who's in the chat? Palhinha, yes or no? Get your thoughts and opinions on it, whether you are watching this right now or you're watching this later on. Could be in the morning, could be in the afternoon. Talk to me, people. Nick Knack saying Martinez wants Man United move. Is he completely mental? Well,
he is mental. He is actually mental.
He's definitely mental. Yeah, I don't think there's any question about that. Now, the last story we want to talk about, Duncan Castles, the transfers cast, as it's called. Man United have offered a package worth more than £60 million to Brentford for Brian Mbuemo, we know, or what's being reported from very credible journalists, is that they want €60 or a similar price to Cunha, right? I think it was what Brentford was asking for.
Yeah.
One, the source is pretty dodgy on this, right? I don't think we need to explain that.
Yeah.
It's pretty well known. It's kind of here or there with Duncan Castles.
Mm-hmm.
Two, why do you think it's taking so long? Do you think they are just making sure the next bid that goes in is definitely going to be done?
Yeah, I saw Ben Jacobs say basically United are not going to do these blind bids anymore like we did. Like, I don't know if anybody remembers Harry Maguire, where they're like, Leicester were like 80 million. We're like, we'll give you 40. And then we came back and tried 50, and it just went back and forth, back until we got to the 80 and paid it. I think the same thing happened with Wan-Bissaka as well. So I think United are sort of done with that sort of style. Well, it's not a style of negotiating, is it? It's just paying what they want, but taking longer. So I think they're now like, they've gone in with the initial bid to see where the waters lie and what's happening, and then gone, right, this is what they're thinking. And then they're preparing a bid that's hopefully going to get accepted straight away, rather than going back and forth with bids. So I think that's why it's taking so long. Like, people going, well, it takes so long. I'm like, it's not, you're not buying a chocolate bar. Like, this is £60 million that you handed over to another club. Like, shit takes time. Like, the details have to be sorted and things have to be, lines have to be crossed and stuff. So it takes time. And do you honestly want, would you, if the transfer happens tomorrow, do you want United to pay £70 million? No. You want to get the transfer done at the cheapest price possible. That's what you want. Now, as long as it's not August 31st and we've still not signed it and we're still trying bids, then it's fine. Like, if it takes a couple of weeks, it takes a couple of weeks. The window's only just opened. Preseason's not even started yet. Like, people need to relax, man. Like, let's all relax and chill out. It'll get done.
Now, you're saying it's not a chocolate bar, Sam, but I have seen plenty of fantasy names that say Kinder Mbuemo, sorry, so take that for what you want.
It's a good name.
It's a good name. It's a good name. Joel C says, are we jumping the gun on Ugarte? He needs to get stronger, but I think he can be a good 6 to pair with Bruno. A year experience should do him good. This is the year to judge. I get it. With players, it takes time to adapt, right? You've seen that Evra.
I'm not writing him off. Yeah, I'm not writing him off.
I'm not writing him off. But you can only base it off what you're seeing. And I think a lot of his performances last season were really underwhelming against teams in the bottom half of the table. Like, I just want more from him on the ball. And that's because if you watch the Premier League week in, week out, and you see the kind of midfielders that, even just like mid-table teams have got, they're better on the ball. So I want to see more from it. I'm not saying he's not capable of it, but the jury's out for me at the minute on Ugarte. I don't know if you feel the same, Sam.
No, I'm with you. Like, I'm ready to give him another season because, like you said, I don't think it's fair to judge a player on one season. Like, I think you have to give them time. So I'm ready to sort of give him opportunities. And he has shown stuff where I've liked it, and there's stuff that I really like. So hopefully it's more of that and less of what I saw against West Ham. Nick, that just said, in hindsight, Maguire wasn't the worst signing. No, he wasn't, but he's not worth 80 million, is he? Like, he's not an £80 million player. That's my point.
40, then it's,
fair enough.
Yeah.
Like, if you bought Mbuemo, Mbuemo is a really good player, but he's not £70 million worth of good player. Like, that's my point. Like, I don't want United to pay £70 million for him. That's the idea. But yeah, you're right. He's not the worst player, but he's not £80 million worth of player.
Can I just say, I've added a new sound to the soundboard, and it's from our conversation with Jay Motte, and I forgot to show it you. So just whilst we're live, this is a new sound.
I thought we might have, a little bit of flirting before we dropped our pants.
I thought that fits perfectly on the soundboard. That's going to go so well. That's going to get used probably more than any other sound that I've got on here. So,
I love James.
Yeah,
fucking legend.
Nath in the chat, pick up to Nath saying, personally, I think there's more to come from him. Ugarte, a bit of muscle, and he'll be okay. It's the off-the-ball stuff, and I'm not fussed with. I'm fine with that. It's on the ball. On the ball, he needs to improve. Like, he's
losing the ball.
Glimpses of it before where he's, the switches at times, and I want to see more of that, especially in Amorim's system when it gets so congested centrally because he's overloads and you need to spread it out wide to the wing backs. Like, they're so important, honestly.
It's like how much we like when Martinez is out injured, we miss that deep progressor of the ball and those passes that he's able to do. And you see it now when we play out from the back without Martinez. It's just, it's painful. It's horrific to watch. But when you've got Martinez in there, it's a joy because he'll get it. no, pressure will come. He'll turn, and he's out of danger, and then he'll look and he'll switch it, and you're on the attack. That's what we need in the midfield. We need somebody of that caliber who's able to take the ball. He's not going to get shoved off. He's physical, but can also thread a ball like Bruno tries to, like all the single time. We need that kind of caliber, and I just don't know if he's got that in him to do it consistently. That's my sort of feeling on it.
Well, you think we've come from a rich history of midfielders through to like Paul Ince, Roy Keane, Paul Scholes, Michael Carrick. Like, think how good they are on the ball.
Beckham.
Do you know what I mean?
Beckham.
Incredibly technically gifted on the ball. Yeah. And now you look at midfield, and it's like you can't really pick one to play in there who can really dominate a game like a Rodri can. That's my main kind of concern with it. Can't judge a player on one season, especially the worst season in our modern history where everyone was crap.
Yeah.
He seemed to lose a bit of confidence over the season. Yeah, that bit towards the end was interesting, wasn't it? Where obviously he lost the ball against West Ham.
Amorim dropped him, didn't he?
And yeah, Amorim was like, and that's another thing I want to point out. Amorim, when he came into Sporting, used him in the team, but then sold him.
Yeah,
sold him. Don't forget about that. So,
and then, look at PSG. There's a reason why they sold him, because their midfield is Vitinha, João Neves. Like, he's never getting in that team. Ever. He's never getting. And you look at the way PSG play, like it's a joy to watch. Like it's a fucking joy. Why
shouldn't we be striving for that level when we got linked with people like João Neves? You're telling me he's not worth the money that thing he was asking for now? Like, he's an incredible player. Yeah. Same thing with Vitinha.
And also, on the other side of the argument, Vitinha was playing for Wolves a few years ago, and he got sold by Wolves because he wasn't seen as good enough. And now he's arguably one of the best midfielders. So you could become that guy on the other side of it, because he would have looked at Vitinha when he's playing for Wolves and gone, that is the best midfielder in the world right now. No one was saying that, and now he is. So
agreed. All right, let's see what happens in the foreseeable. It is a transfer window, and things are starting to get a little bit crazy, but who knows, in a week's time you can see Martinez join the club and Mbuemo could reject us. You really don't know at the minute. So for all transfer updates for United Fix, whatever it is, just below me here on the right hand side are all our socials. So Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Drop us a follow on there. Turn the notifications on as well for any news stories. It'll come through on your phone literally by the minute. So check us out. United should be looking for the next Fabian Ruiz. That guy is a machine. Completely agree. Or any of their midfielders you take, wouldn't you?
Yeah, just give me one. Just give me one of them. I'll be happy.
Any of them. They've got an incredible midfield. On that note, I don't want to depress myself too much. I want to kind of end it on a positive. Bryan Mbuemo, keep an eye out for that for the next couple of days. That seems like the next imminent deal. Of course, if anything happens to that, we'll go live. But apart from that, we'll be back tomorrow. And I assume the majority of you are not going to be watching the Club World Cup because it's been absolute dog shit. It's been horrendous, terrible. So the football craving is still there, but we'll provide that with news and transfer stories as much as we can, and turn the notification bell on YouTube so you don't miss a live when we do go. And also, sorry, just the last thing, above Sam's head on the left side, 17,000 now. We've gone past that. We're on 70,087 subscribers, so pushing towards 20k. If there's anyone new who's joined us on this late night live, because I know sometimes the traffic, it does bring viewers in Puerto Rico or wherever, hit that subscribe button. And if anything else, Sam, have I missed anything?
No, just apologies for the lack of social updates or the timeliness of it. I've been really unwell last couple of days, and then me and Nick have had stuff happen in the other life and stuff like that. So, it's been a bit delayed, but I'm going to try and get back on it next couple of days. Yeah. So, I
almost feel like guilty in it a little bit for not going live. Like, I feel like there's a duty, do you know what I mean? But we will be live tomorrow.
By the way. Congrats, guys. 17k is a big milestone. Yeah, absolutely, mate. And it's because of people like you as well. So appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you all. Go have a bath, do what you're doing. Try and sleep tonight because it's going to be fucking boiling if you're in England. And we'll see you guys